Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a tutorial on this eye look that I created using the ColourPop Yes Please palette, which looks like this. I was super excited to get this in the mail. I've been trying to come up with something in my head that I could go for with this palette without being something that I've already created. It's hard to when all of the colors are just so beautiful and red and gold. Just warm tones are my jam right now. And anyways, if you want to know how to get this look, then just keep watching. So to start out this look, I'm using Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and this is just to prime my eyes for any eyeshadow we're going to use. This is just the one I always have used. I don't have like a favorite. I feel like they all kind of do the same, so this is just the one that works for me. Then I'm going to set that primer down using the shade Full Zip from the Yes Please palette, and this is just going to help us set that primer down so it's not tacky and so that all of our other colors blend on top instead of going patchy. Then I'm taking the color Champs, or Champs, I don't know, which is just like a very light kind of orangey brown, and that's just going to be our first transition color. That way we've got a lot to work on top. Then I'm going in with the color Big Cocktails, and I'm going to put this right into the crease, and this is really just going to help us start that warm color that we're trying to go for. Then I'm going in with the color Spoiled, which is a beautiful red tone, and putting that right over top of that last shade. This is just, again, going to help us get that warmth, and I'm just kind of putting it in the outer V and then working it into the crease. Then I'm going in with the color Note to Self, and it didn't have very much pigment. I wasn't really impressed with it. It was maybe it was just because of the shadows that I put it on top of, so I just went ahead and buffed whatever was there out, and then I went in with the color GNO, which is a little bit more of like a reddish orange. It's not as orange and it's not as red. So it's kind of a good mix in between the two. And then I'm going in with the darkest color in the palette, which is called French Kiss. And this had way more pigment than I thought it would, and so I went in kind of heavy-handed, and then it took me literally like 5 minutes to blend it out. So I would recommend going in a little bit at a time with that color, just because it was so pigmented. It kind of didn't want to blend. So now I'm going in with the shade Butter Cake on a flat shader brush, and I'm just kind of like stamping it to get the full color payoff instead of swiping, because when you swipe, more of it flakes off and you don't get that like actual gold. Now I'm just going in with a blending brush and just blending out any of those harsh edges. Now starting on the lower lash line, we're going to go in with the colors we used in the crease, which starting with the color Champs, and then I'm taking the next color, which was Big Cocktails, and then on top of that I'm going to take Note to Self, and I'm just running all three of these on the lower lash line just to match the top. And then I'm just going to dust away any fallout that may have come from that gold shade, and then that is it. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys like how this look turned out, and I just want to give you a few thoughts on the palette really fast. Overall, I think this is a really great palette for only $16. It's amazing quality. I have a few negatives on it. It's really small. Like, I can't, okay, here's my phone, if that is a reference for you. And so the shadows aren't like typical sized shadows. They're a little bit smaller, which isn't that big a deal, but it was kind of a shock when I got it in the mail. I was like, that's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. So that was one thing that kind of took me by surprise, but it's not the end of the world, because when you ever go through an entire eyeshadow palette, I promise you that I haven't. So, and then another thing, which isn't really a negative overall, it's just my palette came shipped disgusting. Like, it's got powder all over it and it doesn't come off, which is that really sucks, because I hate when my makeup's dirty. It's gross. So and then the last thing is that This shadow right here, which I'm not sure what it's called, the names on the back are either, I don't know which order they go in. So anyways, this really pretty gold shade right here, which is what I used on the lid. Whenever I put my brush in, it like exploded kind of, and chunks of it came up, which isn't that big a deal. I was able to pack it back in. I think it's just like a loosely pressed shadow, which isn't a problem at all. So that's just one thing to be careful about. If you go in and dip your brush in too hard, you're going to like destroy the shadow. So that is the only few things I have to say about the palette. Other than that, this is a great quality palette for the price. It's $16. And really, you can't buy palettes for that cheap anymore. And this has 12 shadows. So that's literally like a little over $1 a piece. That's not much at all. And for them to be such great quality, I really think this is worth the money. So if you can get your hands on it, or if you like warm tone palettes, then I would definitely recommend this one. So that is it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and always remember to stay trendy.